On Tuesday, I posted a new personal best for Outpost Speedrun. The run was a 44.906, and it was a solid run. However, I'd like to show you guys what most of my resets looked like. Now, some of you may be confused as to why I reset there, but let's put this run side by side with my actual PB on this track. As you can see, despite doing the exact same strategy and the exact same amount of drifting, the blue car was able to get the last turbo just fine and the red car wasn't. So what's the deal? Well, as you can see from the first turn in particular, the red car had not been gaining as much turbo as it should have. It was a little lower. And just because of that one turn where that happened, the rest of the run is screwed. That is Turbo Bug. Simple, yet oh so devastating. And it is as bad as it sounds like to deal with. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in this video. So to start off with, we should just talk about how you build turbo in general, and that is by drifting. And when you drift, you gain turbo. That is the core function, main function of this game. Drifting to build turbo. However, it is a little slightly more nuanced than you may think. After you fill up your medium-sized bar at the bottom of your screen, and it becomes the larger bar, you will begin to gain turbo slightly slower. That is why in most of the world records that you see, they usually release their drifts at around this range here. Now that we understand the basics of drifting and how longer drifts mean that we build less turbo over time, we can now talk about how turbo bug is caused. So after I release this drift here, and I begin my third drift as I flip into the corner, right at this exact frame here, this is when I trigger my turbo bug for the next turn, and then I am building less turbo after the turn than I would do in a normal run. It happens right here. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's like, what? Really? Right here? You haven't even started drifting yet. How do you know that? And the reason I know this is because I actually did start my drift. I haven't built any turbo bar, but I started my drift, and I started it too soon. That is the problem with turbo bug. After you exit a drift, if you start another drift too soon, what happens is the game gets confused. The game is thinking that you are still in your old drift, so it's going to continue building turbo in your old drift. However, as we just established, the longer your drift is, the less turbo you build. The game thinks you're in a really long drift, so it's going to build your turbo a lot slower because of that, instead of a fresh new drift where you would be building turbo as normal. That is what is causing turbo bug. That is what needs to be fixed in this game in order for ranked and speedruns to be more properly enjoyed and pushed to its limits. Until then, we have to deal with this turbo bug and forcefully have to make sure that we do not play too fast, because if we play too fast, we're going to trigger this turbo bug here, and we're going to be getting less drift because of it. And you can see the consequences of it, even on this outpost run here. Just a really small, tiny turbo bug. And I can't get my last boost. I'm not gonna lie, man. When I was grinding for that outpost speedrun to put that out that night, I had this turbo bug so much. I had it on that turn. I had it exiting the garage. It was rough. There was other spots on the map too, because it can happen when you're just chaining any drifts together at all. And it's not just on Outpost. This is for every single map in the game. We have to deal with this. That is why Turbo Bug is the single biggest problem in this game. And it needs to be addressed now. It needs to be addressed by Epic and Psyonix, and it needs to be fixed immediately. I hope that this video is going to bring more attention and more discussion to this, and hopefully, until this bug is fixed, you guys as players can know how to play around it. With all of that being said, I'm Bros. I hope you learned something useful today. If you would like, leave a like and a subscription for the channel. It helps me out a lot. We're uploading a video every day in November, and we're already halfway done with the month. Just crazy to think about. And with all of that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care.